So that's what you get for $60 right here. 2 quarts of motor oil, 2 quarts of gear oil, some brake cleaner, and a filter. So what I got here is an oil leak. Thought it was a brake seal, brake fluid leaking, but it's gear oil. All I can assume is because the truck was on this side, all the oil was on this side of the axle and it leaked out. So hopefully the seal is still good. I won't find out until I put some fluid in there, some oil in there. So I got 2 quarts of that. Now most of the time when your brakes get full of oil like this, you should replace them, because now they're impregnated with gear oil, which is really thick. But that's not too much of my concern right now. I just want to make sure everything's functional. Everything's okay. My brakes are together. I thought they were dragging or something, so I gave them a spray of brake cleaner, but they still look like they got oil on them. The drum definitely needs to be cleaned. That's cleanable, but the brake shoes aren't. You know, the oil soaks into the material of the brake lining, so I don't see any damage. That should be okay. I hope. Okay, one of you guys asked if the door works. Yeah, the door works. The brake pedal has a little switch on there, and apparently since this got pushed in, the switch and the thing that actuates it are now too close together. Anyway, when you push the brake pedal, the switch actuates and the light goes off on the brakes. They've been on. They've been stuck on since I rolled it over, so all I did was pull the fuse on it. I thought it was something more serious, but I think it's just a little adjustment in that switch will fix it. Bend something. So that takes care of the brake problem. Brakes are fine. The wheels, the axles spin freely. So that's good. What I'm doing now is I got to change the oil, only because we put all kinds of oil in there. I mean, it's what everybody, or what anybody had on them to donate to me, to put some oil in there. Once it was rolled over, the engine oil was low, so I know I put a quart of transmission fluid in there and some other oil. I had no idea what it was, but at least to get enough oil in there to start the motor and run it. So I'm changing that right now. That's just basic stuff. Alright, so yeah, there's the old filter. Here's a new filter. Yeah. Prime that filter with a little oil, you know. Why not? Stupid. See, that's what happens when you do that. Never fails. So anyway, yeah, so This is the filter I use. Only because these were developed basically to go with the synthetic oil. Why is that, you might ask? Well, because your oil you can go longer between changes with synthetic oil because it's more stable than regular oil. So that means your filter would have to last longer. Get me? Get it? Yeah. Let's see if I don't drop it down underneath the truck. Now, some of you Ford owners are probably saying I'm using the wrong filter. This is an M1301. I got an aftermarket oil kit on here. That's why I'm using this big filter instead of a little short filter. Yeah, I'm using an aftermarket oil cooler kit on here. It has a little bypass thing that sandwiches between the block and the filter. So you take the old filter out, you put this little sandwich thing in there with some hose attachments and run a cooler up to the front. You know, it's like a transmission cooler. It's just an oil cooler, right? Little radiator. Then you run it back, and then you pop that new filter in, which is different because I think the threads are different. I think, I forget what they are, but yeah. You can look it up if you're that curious. Yeah. Almost spilled it, dum-dum. Now that oil cooler is just a basic cooler. There's some more expensive coolers that have I think they're thermostatically controlled. Especially when you live in cold parts of the country, where you want your oil to warm up. Out here in Southern California, it's not too critical. Pretty mild temperatures. There's some places, yeah, you want your oil to get hot, you know. It's got to warm up to a certain degree. Otherwise, you'll get condensation and stuff inside your engine block. You know, moisture will develop. And it don't burn off when the oil doesn't get hot enough. You need the oil to get hot enough to burn that off and other stuff like unburnt fuel and blow-by and stuff. Now, as far as putting the wrong oil in here in an emergency, it's not going to hurt nothing. As long as you change it out, don't leave it in there. Don't put cooking oil or nothing like that. As far as coolant goes, you don't have coolant, just put straight water. That's not going to hurt nothing either, as long as you change it out. Don't leave it in there. What you don't want to mix is different kind of coolants. There's different formulas of coolants. You don't want to do that in an emergency. You want to put the proper coolant in there if you can. If not, just use regular water. Something to get you home, right? Okay, so let's get the engine oil taken care of. I got to put a little oil in the power steering pump. One of you guys was asking about my light bar. My light bar is right there. My light bar is just fine. Not a scratch on it. It just unclipped. It actually hooks onto the rain gutters over the window there. So this side stayed on, the other side popped off the rain gutter. And that's good. And then when I rewired these things this time, I actually put some plugs on there. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute here. Supposed to have two sets of plugs. Anyway, yeah. So, next thing is to do is put some oil in the rear diff. That's the blue bottles are for 80-90 Dura blend. I don't want to put nothing expensive like Lucas or Mobile One, because I still might have a leak on there. I don't know right now. Won't know until I put some oil in there. But in case you didn't know, on the Dana, see, this isn't a Dana, this is the Ford 8.8 rear axle. There's a little plug right here. That's the fill plug. Just fill it up to there. The manual actually says a 1/4 inch below that, a 1/4 inch to 9/16. So get it close, you know. Right now I stuck my little finger in there. I didn't feel nothing. So I got 2 quarts. It might take more. I think this thing takes maybe 3 or 4 quarts when it's completely empty. So I'm doing that, and while I was here I was checking the transfer case. The transfer case is fairly simple too. Similar, you got a drain plug here and you got a fill plug here. You just pull the plug out, fill it to the top of the plug till it starts running back out, put the plug back in, it's full. Excuse me. So I'm looking at this fender here. I was just checking out parts, and I found these fenders from $125 to $225 depending on the quality. You want to import, you want a domestic. So it's repairable. I mean, that's replaceable. So I think I can do that. The door definitely has to be replaced. So maybe I'll do some junkyard shopping sometime once I get it running right. This rear panel is in. See how far it's in there? I'm just guessing maybe a 1/4 inch. I'm thinking I can pull it out myself. Now I'm not going to take care of the body work, but at least I'd get it fairly straight and then take it to the body shop where they just need to take the dents out. So I'm thinking of maybe pulling it out with the winch on the Tacoma. That's the theory anyway. I have to block it from the inside somehow, maybe drill some holes, put some bolts in there, and then hook my winch cable up to there, and then just pull it a little at a time till it pulls out far enough. And then just got to do some cosmetic work to it, I think. And after that, the main thing up here is that. I don't know how far or how bad it is or exactly what to do about that. Just cut the top off and put another one back on there. That would be for the body shop. I'm thinking about pulling this thing out too here, because this part here is pushed in, as you can see right there, and that's why my brake lights were on, because that pushed everything over. I'm thinking once I buy a door, maybe I'll give it a shot of pulling this out with the winch on the Tacoma winch, hook it up to the Tacoma somehow, see if I can pull this thing out before replacing the door. And then there's just the top to do. And that I'll leave to a body shop and cut the whole top off. I don't know what they want to do. I really hate screwing up the interior in here. I don't know whether this is pushed in right here. Looks like it. Oh yeah. See the top right here? This is the fiberglass top, and this is the metal. That's not good. That sucks. The dash. What do you do about the dash over there? Well, that's another thing. I gotta see what's up with this dash. messed up right now. My buttons don't work on the electronic shift control. You can't see it from there, but on the transfer case. I don't know what's up with that. Could be a fuse, could be just it got unplugged or something. That'll be tomorrow, maybe. I think I got most of everything taken care of here. I'll start it up right now. Let me just finish putting the fluids in. Alright, so the rear diff only took, less than a quart, so that's good. I didn't think it was that bad, but it looked worse than it is. Yeah. Fire it up, let it warm up, let the engine oil get up to temperature, and just pick up my tools for now. This truck is always started up right on. So what I'm going to do now is just let it run, heat up, get up to operating temperature, and that's it for now. It's very cold out here.